For this project, I wanted to try something a little untraditional in comparison to other infographics. I wanted my topic to showcase the environmental benefits that wind power can offer, and I decided to direct my infographic towards Albertans in general. In order to achieve the environmental aspects of my infographic, I thought it would be interesting if I incorporated a wind turbine with a tree. I figured that having this as a main image in the center of the page would help the viewer to immediately recognize the topic of the infographic. I wanted a more realistic feel to this infographic, so instead of creating vector art to display a wind turbine and a tree, I decided to use photographs. This decision prompted me to use Photoshop rather than Illustrator. I had to find images that would create a clean layout. I started off by isolating the turbine and placing it on a lightly colored background. I chose this color of background to emphasize the images I chose. Next, I tried to find an image of a deciduous tree with an abundance of roots. Finding a suitable image proved to be a lot harder than expected. The best image I could find had the top part of the tree cropped off, but I figured I could just build the rest of the tree in Photoshop. I sized the image to fit with the wind turbine, and then began building the rest of the tree. After my images were finished, I decided to brighten the colors of the background. I picked a bright blue that would help draw in the audience's eye. I then added a faded effect to the top part of the tree to put more focus on the turbine. Deciding on the style of the title was one of the biggest difficulties I ran into with this project. I decided to go with a box behind the text with a modified opacity so that the viewers could still see the image behind the boxes. I changed the font of the title to create a slightly more sophisticated feel. When it came to putting in the information, I realized I had to use darker colored boxes with knockout text for legibility. At this point in my process, I had actually decided that I was finished the infographic. I got a couple of different sizes printed, and as I was trying to decide which size was better, I came to the conclusion that I didn't have nearly enough information to call this poster an infographic. So I went back to Photoshop and started adding more to my design. I ended up changing the layout of the text boxes and title in order to keep a balanced feel, but still keep an emphasis on the turbine and tree images. I created small icons to accompany each bit of text because I knew that they would create an added interest to the information. When I went to go get this version printed, I was undecided on what colors I should make the title. I decided I would print out both and see which one I liked better. But after printing the poster with the green box and knockout text, the printer I was using broke, and I was unable to print the version with the white title. So much for that idea. Overall, the biggest difficulty I ran into with this project was finding a good balance between an infographic and a poster. I found it very difficult to create an infographic feel using real photographs.